I'm gonna talk a little bit about the grain train here. The grain train, the Demco 650 and the Brent 640 and the John Deere 8870. I catch a lot of flack for why we have the 8870, and I know some people will tell me you don't have to justify what you do. I more so want to talk about this so maybe somebody can think about something, and you know, maybe I can save from somebody getting hurt or killed. Because we had some unique experiences with these. We've never had wagons this big. So the 8870 weighs about 31,000 pounds that we took the weights off. These wagons, they're heavy. Let's do the math. Say you got you know, 650 plus 650 is 1,300. Whoops, 1,300 times 56, whatever, for a bushel of corn. Everybody seeing this? That's a lot of weight. If you add the weight of the wagons, you're pushing 80,000 pounds behind the tractor. How these things work, some of these wagons don't have brakes, which is absolutely insane. But you can see that these wagons have brakes, right? How these brakes function, it is that as the wagons, or as the tractor slows down, the wagons will push into it, right? So as they push into it, this collapses, or compresses. That engages the brakes. The tractor is the thing that needs to be the anchor point to push back on the wagons. I had a really poor experience with this. I'm 99% sure I was in the 4630 with these two things hooked together. Why? I don't know. We were probably using the 8440 for something else on the cart, I think. I can remember coming down the tar road with these things loaded, and I don't know how full they were, but I was coming down the tar road, and I went to slow down, coming down just a slight hill. I went to slow down with the 4630. I could feel them pushing. Wasn't going full speed. I shifted, and the tractor popped out of gear. And I thought, oh boy. So I tapped the brakes. I could feel the tractor skipping, pushing me forward. I aborted my turn. I just kept it straight, because I knew if I turned, I was going too fast to turn onto the gravel. I aborted my turn, went straight, turned around in one of our fields and came back. We split them up. Pulled one wagon with each tractor. Then we tried pulling them with the 8440 hooked together. So we had these things, we hooked them back together. We're like, okay, four-wheel drive, yeah buddy, we got this 8440. We got them stuck a couple times in some mud. Really not even, just leaving some, you know, good-sized ruts. And anybody that pulls these knows that it doesn't take much to leave a rut with these things. Then you hook her onto this thing, and it's the other tractor. It's an R4-wheel drive that we have around. It doesn't really have a job. It can do some plowing. So we're like, yeah, let's try it. You know them, you know they're back there. You know, it yanks them around. You know, it doesn't struggle by any means most of the time, but you know they're back there when you go to get it rolling. It takes, you know, it grunts, you know, and it's just nice to have that weight to slow you down. It's just safer. It's like Wes Pandy. He's been on this, not really a tirade, but you know, he's been promoting the why do a job with a small tractor when a big tractor, you know, I don't remember what he always says, something about how, you know, big tractors basically are the way to go, and it's the safest, it's more comfortable, and you know, big tractors are able to do more jobs, where a little tractor, that's all it's got. So that's why this is here. Not only for comfort, not only because we don't get stuck, but for safety. This is a lot of weight behind me, a lot of weight. And soybeans weigh more, and I don't know exactly what they weigh a bushel, but they weigh more. You can't mess around, especially on the road. If you got pushed into a ditch or something when you're trying to slow down, forget it. Where it's all about safety, because yeah, you got to get the crop out, but you have to be safe, right? The other ticket with this tractor, if it's out in the field with us, pull the pin, boom. It's our pull tractor. It pulls the combine out like nobody's business. Don't even know it's back there most of the time. Just crawls right out of there with it. That's just my suggestion. Please be sure that the tractor you're pulling with is heavy enough. Horsepower isn't a huge thing. It's nice to get it rolling. You have to make sure the tractor you're pulling these wagons with is heavy enough. Otherwise, you are in for a big surprise when you go to slow down. I don't know if they've made them different, where if you tap the brakes in the tractors on the new ones, if the brakes engage. But in some of the European guys are gonna be like, we tap our brakes in our tractors and all the wagons and implements, you know, have brakes. But they're always like, you Americans are crazy. And I have to somewhat agree, because why we still do it this way, I don't know. So you have to make sure the tractor's heavy enough so that when these wagons, you can feel them hit, they kind of, boom, nudge the tractor forward, and you're like, okay, now we're slowing down. If you can't make that thing, if it's skipping that tractor along, that's because the tractor's not heavy enough. And if the tractor's not heavy enough, you ain't compressing this. And if you ain't compressing that, you ain't getting brakes back here, so you better hang on, okay? So please, make sure the tractor's heavy enough so that you can stop these things, so that everybody's safe and nobody gets hurt or killed. Not only you and the tractor, but you're obviously on the road with these. You don't want to hurt anybody else on the road, okay? Please, please, please make sure the tractor's heavy enough. That's just my little rundown. I don't mean to stand on a soapbox, but that's why we run this wagon, or these wagons, on that big tractor. If we split them up, sure, we can pull them with the, you know, one on the 4630, one on the 8440, but we've done the 8440 before. You just can't, you gotta almost stay on the road, or you have to be very careful where you go in the mud. You still have to be careful with this thing, because in all honesty, if these sunk down, this thing would take off. You'd probably pull the hitch apart, at least, you know, I'm sure. The tractor's, you know, it's strong. You have to be careful. But please, people, be careful with these things. That's just why we use that thing. If it works for other people in flat ground, we're in hills and mud. So that's why we got power and four-wheel drives all over the place. Would the 8120 do it? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. It might not be heavy enough. It might get pushed around a little bit. But the 8120 is great on the cart. So our next options are the 8440 or 8430, and that's the way to go. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll check you guys later.